Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to CollectioNeo and Statue Forum, and as you can probably see straight away, today we are looking at Prime 1's Ultimate Premium Masterline Deluxe Edition Diorama, whatever they want to call it, Berserk Guts 1/4 scale statue. Now, just before we get into the review and stuff, I just want to go over something. If you're not bothered about this, just skip forward a minute or so. I'm just going to briefly go over, because if any of you out there actually watch my videos and watch them consistently, you know that on a few videos I've talked about getting the First Figures guts, and I'll be completely straight and honest, as I always am. I got it and I wasn't happy with it whatsoever, mainly because of the faces and the paint on the faces. They were very, very orange. If you jump over on Statue Forum and go into the First Figures thread, you'll see my pictures on there, and you'll see my take on that. Now, I am not going to diss First Figures. First Figures are still great. They were very, very good with me. They took it back and they fully refunded me, including shipping. So, big thumbs up for First Figures. But some things, you know, just don't work out. So, not a big knock on that. I've seen lots of people who have been very, very happy with their guts, but for the money I paid, for the 750 bucks, I think it was, retail, I didn't think it really added up. So, I was gutted. Haha, gutted, get it. I was really disappointed, because I was kind of basing, you know, my display around it, and my Berserk statues were all going to come from First Figures. And I'd kind of ruled picking this up, because, you know, it's $1,000. It's a huge statue in 2 boxes, probably another $300 shipping. The exclusive was very much sold out. Very hard to pick up the regular. The Prime 1 website had them in stock, but again, shipping was a massive issue. And so I just searched online on eBay UK, and someone was selling the exclusive for 700 quid, which is, you know, only a tiny bit more than what I paid for the First Figures one, and way under retail. I contacted the guy, we did a deal. He even bought it up. He drove like 2.5 hours and dropped it off for me, for, you know, 40 quid petrol money. So yeah, I picked up the exclusive version of this for 740 quid, and I am a very happy chappy. As you can probably see, it's a huge statue. We're filming right way back, but what we're going to do, guys, is now get on with the review and talk about this statue. This is going to be a bit of a gushy. We're going to gush over this statue because, spoiler alert, it's probably one of the best Prime 1 statues I've seen, and definitely probably one of the best in my collection. So yeah, hold on tight, guys. We're going to break this sucker down. So yes, guys, this is a huge statue. I'm not able to get it all in frame and spin it at the same time. So we're going to go up close and do details, but just go over this straight away. You do get your requisite Prime 1 instruction sheet. As you can see, it was in 3 layers. Most of the bases together. You've got guts, you've got the swords, you've got the cape, 3 heads, switch out arms, all the pieces laid out there. And to be honest, I think this is a statue where there's lots of bits that go in little different places. You know, you've got all your different switch outs with puck and things like that, arrows to go in the Apostle's head and things like that. So yes, and obviously we've got the switch outs, which I might do the switch out sword, I might not. There's plenty of reviews of this guy knocking about where you can see the switch outs, but yes, and most statues nowadays come with those. If you're buying anything that's half complicated these days, you know you're going to get an instruction sheet. So guys, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the base because there's so much to look at on this thing, and we're going to go over it in detail. So we're going to start right at the bottom. First off, you get the curse mark, as like, you know, this is kind of what's, I think Sume started this, where they do the round bases, the under bases with a logo. They kind of started with the One Piece and the Naruto statue, so you got the same thing here with Berserk, of course, and then this underbase is like a silver with like all this carving running through it. Very nicely done. I do like, I mean, I've seen people complain about Prime 1 bases, that they're too big, like the underbase is too big, but you know, they did it with the Guyver in the shape of the Guyver units. But no, I really like this. And yeah, it's just basically a silver band that runs all the way around. We'll start from the front, I guess. There's so much to go over, guys. But we'll start right here. So you've got the skull straight away, the helmet. I don't really need to say, but the paints are phenomenal on this. They are just, everything about it is just, you know, that of the highest level, and you're paying $1,000 plus $300 shipping. That kind of goes away with most Prime 1 statues because everything's so good on them, so good. You know, there's nothing to disappoint you, and this definitely doesn't disappoint, especially when you get it under retail and you kind of drop on. Yeah, very, very lucky. We've got this removable sword here, broken off, which we can do other things with, which I'll go into once we get into switch outs, which we might do actually in a minute. So you get Puck here, normal scale Puck, quarter scale Puck, and his normal Luke. I like Puck. I know a lot of people don't. So if you don't want to display Puck there, you get a replacement rock, which you can just peg in like so. So what you can do is take the top off this sword, and then you get kind of anime distress Puck. Now my Puck does have a mark on his face, this one. As you can see that, I need to get like one of those magic eraser sponges on it. I'm sure that'll clear it up. But he is holding is like a little, I don't know, like a bud, and it's actually fairy. It's really nice. So this Puck has actually got the back of that sword pommel on him, so you can just literally peg him in. Don't do this to me on camera, Puck. There we go. And then that sword can just literally slot back in to where it was. So we can have Puck there instead. Anime distress Puck, which is very nice. I do honestly like the normal Puck. Let's have every Puck on. Puck it. Let's go all Pucks. Obviously, you know, you can display all the Pucks if you'd like, but it makes no sense. So yeah, and then we've got skulls here. We've got all intestines on this rock from the apostle he's just killed, and then we've got the huge apostle head. I'm going to stay low for a minute, guys. We'll go over that. We've got all these spirits around, and then at the back here, this is supposed to be like the I'm going to go into it, guys. This is supposed to be like the unborn baby of Guts and Casca, which is I'm going to say the word, when Fento or Griffith raped Casca, it's supposed to have like corrupted the unborn baby. Yeah, if you've never read Guts, and reading is the way to do it, guys. The three movies are great. The newer anime is not so great. The old anime is fine, but Guts is Berserk's one of the things you've got to read, guys. Guyver the same. You've got to read it. None of the anime does it justice. I mean, with so little out there, I would honestly just recommend watching and reading it all, you know, because there isn't a lot there at all. So as you can see, all the back of that apostle head, which looks amazingly well detailed again, so kind of similar to Ramatif on the Guyver base. And then if we come out a little bit, I might do a little bit of freehand as well, guys. Let's go up a tiny bit. You've got this awesome tree, this haunted forest. Looks a bit in Mortal Kombat 2 or Mortal Kombat 9. And then as you can see, we've got the back of the Berserk beast. Oh my god, Lazy Susan, stop it. The statue is sliding around everywhere. Now the Berserk beast is actually attached to the base. He doesn't come off. We'll get a little close in on this now. So, like, from what I can tell, the teeth seem to be translucent resin, the tongue seems to be translucent resin, or it's had something applied to it that makes it look like that. As I say, guys, paints are fantastic. There's a good lashing of clear coating on stuff as well. So as we get around to like the gut, underneath Guts' feet, and then like if we get around to the Apostle, if this thing will stop sliding round, you can see that fantastic sheen on it. This is a very heavy statue as well, guys. That's why my Susan is not coping well. I think it's about 25 kilo. It nearly killed me moving this over here, and I'm so glad I've reinforced this area where I do all photography and videos now, so I can put heavier statues on. If you look at some of my older reviews of larger statues like Guy Zero and Namor and Gamera, I had no room to put them, but now this has been reinforced because I know statues are getting bigger and heavier. So as you can see, we've got the Apostle with his eye hanging out. You've got all the arrows from his bolt gun in his arm, and of course we've got, in the pose that we've got Guts in at the moment, is we've got the sword going down through the Apostle. Now when I will swap it over. When you take that bit out, there's actually a bit of the sword's actually cut at an angle, so it's just literally resting on top of the head, and there's a bit of felt under there so it doesn't mark anything. It really thought it through. As I say, we've got all these spirits around here. We've got spirits on the back of the tree. We do have another puck, which I'll just show you now because he doesn't stay in very well. A sweaty dancing puck, which actually just pegs onto the tree at the back, so you wouldn't really see him with the sword down pose on. You want the sword back pose up, really. We'll try and go up a bit now, guys, and do a bit of Guts. So as you can see the armour and the colours and the leathers, there's no mixed media on him whatsoever. This is all sculpt, guys. And there goes my exposure. Let's put a bit of brightness back because it's just picked up the face. The cape's like a PU, like a plastic, polyurethane. So it's lightweight, kind of flexible. Because there's no way you want a huge polystone cape on the back of this guy. We're just going to spin to win, guys, here. Lighting might change a little bit as it loses the face. As you can see, details on the arm, the blood splatter. There's actually real chains under there. All the leather bits, like the compartments and all that, I've so picked out brilliantly. Let's go back. It's just really, 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 really fucking awesome. Shall we go over the heads? I'm going to switch the arm, guys, so we can see them sword up. I'll pull out a little bit and then we'll look at the heads and we'll mix it up a bit. 1 second. So the arm just basically pulls out and then you've got the other sword. So that's the full sword. It's about 36 inches high with this option. It's about, I think it knocks about 6-7 inches off it. I think it goes to about 30-29 with the sword planted in the Apostle. Here's the other sword. There's that bit of felting on the bottom, as I said, where it's been cut off. The texture work, the blood app on the sword is phenomenal. The first figures one, really, the sword felt really like plasticky. It was plasticky, but it didn't have enough texture. It looked too soft. It didn't feel, or, you know, I'm not a big fan of heavy stuff, as you know, when it comes to statues, and this guy's way too heavy. But it just didn't have the look of the texture. This is far and away a much better Dragon Slayer. And then let's go on to the faces. So the face it's in now is the regular one. Let's pull that out. So this is the reg head. It's probably my preferred display. And they're all quite stoic. The first figures one had a real shouty rage one because of the action pose. The hair's done really, really well. The scars, the eyes, really good texture on the skin. It's anime while looking realistic at the same time, which kind of works for Berserk, obviously because it's quite such a visceral anime and manga. It's 100% guts. The teeth are really well picked out as well. Again, just a lot better than the first figures one. And this is a much older statue at this point. And then the exclusive version, this is the only difference between the regular and the exclusive guys, is this head. Again, the teeth are really, really well done. Guts looking a bit fucking crazy as he does. Bit of blood splatter. Curse mark going nuts. The brand, I should say, rather than the curse mark's more Naruto, it is. But yeah, the branding. Bleeding. Not worth it, guys, to get the exclusive, I don't think. You still got the switch out sword with the regular. This is the only piece you get for the exclusive. So, you know, I was just fortunate enough to find, you know, I would have took it and I would have took a regular easy for the money I paid, but you know, I just happened to get the exclusive, luckily. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, try and get this bad boy all in for you. I think we covered everything. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of reviews out there. And what I did forget to mention is actually a spear that plugs in the back as well, which, you know, makes it even wider. It's a hard piece display, definitely, but it's worth it. As far as I'm concerned, now I do not ever need another gut unless I can pick up Berserker Army. But as a regular, you know, Black Swordsman guts, I don't think that it gets much better than this. I really don't. The base is phenomenal, paints are phenomenal, great switch outs. I mean, the arm switch outs are great. It changes the piece completely. Gives it that extra height if you want it, and then the other pose just looks as good, but you know, shaves off a good 6-7 inches if you do want to put it in a small display. Like I say, most of the times when it comes to looking for statues, I'm looking for stuff that's definitive. I feel like my Gamera statue, my Guyver statues, my Kong statue, basically anything that I've got from Prime 1, apart from the new 52 Flash, which was pretty much trash, have all been pretty definitive. Not trash, it just wasn't great, was it? You know, that lightning was awful. But you know, I think this is my 10th Prime 1 piece, and I've only got rid of Flash because it just wasn't good enough. But every other piece feels so definitive, so perfect, and I just can't see me ever needing another gut unless I get the Berserker Army. So the plan is at the moment to get the Berserker Army and to get Femto, maybe Skull Knight and Femto, I don't know. But yes, guys, if you've been hearing about Berserk for a long time, and I'm sure you have, read it and then jump into the fantastical, wallet crushing, bank account destroying world that Prime 1 have created. I mean, the amount of statues they've put out so quickly with this is unbelievable. You know, they've created such a line, such a definitive line, and such a full line. You know, they've done all the God Hand now, Slan, the Void, Conrad, they're all out there. Femto's done, Griffith's coming. They've done Guts, they've done Berserker Army, they've done a 1-3 Guts, which also looks phenomenal. Yeah, they've just absolutely nailed the line. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. Also, if you've got 3,000 quid, you can get a Skull Knight on a horse. Go onto the Prime One website, guys. Look at the Berserk line and look at that Skull Knight on the horse. If I get Skull Knight, by the way, it will be the museum one. I haven't got that sort of room. Well, I have got the room. It's just that I haven't got that much room or that much cash to dedicate towards Skull Knight. Everyone loves Skull Knight, but not fucking, 40 inches by 40 inches by 40 inches. So there you go, guys. That's my take on Prime One's Ultimate Diorama Masterline Premium Super Statue Guts from Berserk. Over the moon, never to be sold, never to be sold. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, I've got actually quite a lot of stuff to review, so no doubt you'll be hearing from me again soon. Bye.